she will carry her baby, and not realizing that pregnancy was a life sentence, especially in a country where everything is collapsing. Maternal health is chaotic in Zimbabwe. Women who are not supposed to die are dying almost on a daily basis, giving birth because of the poor infrastructure that does not, the poor, very, very substandard infrastructure that exists in women. It's actually a death sentence for any woman in Zimbabwe to get pregnant. If you see yourself giving birth, then you thank God. That is the state of affairs in Zimbabwe. A woman who was hopeful died whilst attempting to give birth to her child, including also the unborn baby. Greetings and welcome on your lovely channel, the Hloniphani Global News. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, guess what? You become the very first one to watch us. A woman from Nkayi, identified as Patricia Nyoni, died whilst she intended to give birth. Apparently, this woman developed complications whilst she was giving birth at Mateme hospital that is in Nkayi district, and then the hospital decided to make a referral to a hospital in Bulawayo, most probably Mpilo or United Hospital in Bulawayo. Whilst way to Bulawayo, the ambulance she was carrying, the ambulance where the woman was actually in, overturned. And unfortunately, that woman lost her life, including the unborn baby. This should not have happened. There are numerous things that should be taken into consideration, and numerous actually lessons that should be learned about the government and the health status quo in Zimbabwe. Number one, in every district, especially in a developed country, there should be a hospital, a close hospital, whereby referrals should be made, a hospital with adequate infrastructure to assist women giving actually birth. It shouldn't be a death sentence for one to be pregnant, especially in any part of Zimbabwe. A lot of women, these issues are underreported, are dying in Zimbabwe whilst attempting to give birth. So Patricia amongst several women who actually die because of poor health infrastructure almost on a daily basis, and we've got a government that siphons the resources of the people, that they have misplaced priorities, that does not care about improving the health infrastructure of Zimbabwe. And also look at the road network connecting Bulawayo to Nkayi. It's a pathetic road. This road, the government has been attempting to build it since we were children, around 90s, I think around 1996 up to today. The state of that road is pathetic. The government keeps on making promises, especially during election period, that they will finish the road. It started during the era Robert Gabriel Mugabe. He made promises that they would finish the road, only to give excuses after each and every term whilst coming to campaign in Matebelelen. So that woman lost her life because one of the poor infrastructure. A pregnant woman should not actually be transported for long hours, because being transported from Mateme, considering the road, the state of the road from Mateme to Bulawayo, you would actually, it would take you more than 6 hours because of the state of the road. So most probably the ambulance was running at a high speed, trying to save these two lives, but unfortunately that became impossible. On the way, the ambulance overturned, as you see on the picture, leading to the death of this woman. So you can see the state of affairs in Zimbabwe. That is why a lot of people would support anyone who wants to remove Emmerson Mnangagwa, because the health infrastructure in Zimbabwe is so pathetic. The health infrastructure in Zimbabwe is very, very poor. And she is amongst many who are dying. We are not only talking about pregnant women giving to birth, but we are talking about anyone who actually visit a hospital in Zimbabwe attempting to get actually assistance. It is quite very, very difficult for the women or for the patients to come out alive, especially when they are admitted to the hospital in Zimbabwe. So Patricia Nyoni becomes another victim of the poor health infrastructure in Zimbabwe. Not only poor health infrastructure, but also poor road networks that exist in Zimbabwe. This woman should not have died if we had a really caring government, if we had a government that was concerned with the development of Zimbabwe. This, unfortunately, are the consequences of a government that has misplaced the priorities, of a government that is corrupt, of a government that is anti-people. Just imagine how many people die in Zimbabwe on a daily basis whilst seeking to get medical help. There are numerous actually cases, most of them not reported. Maybe this one may be one among many cases of women, giving birth, dying. It's actually, it has been proven. This is a case that proves beyond reasonable doubt that being pregnant in Zimbabwe becomes a death sentence, because you are not sure whether after pregnancy you will survive or not. These are issues that should be addressed as soon as possible, but who will address them? Is Emmerson Mnangagwa concerned about this? Definitely he is not concerned about this. It is just a matter that would be done by a few maybe media outlets. You would not hear of such stories being reported on the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, which is a propaganda machinery of the government, because they know it exposes the government of Emmerson Mnangagwa that it has failed dismally to address the health crisis. Zimbabwe is a crime scene, a serious crime scene. People are dying who are not supposed to die. Recently, we had a musician who died because the government failed just to give that musician painkillers. And the man died groaning. He was involved in an accident, also going to perform to a certain show, only to succumb to death. After some few days, there are visuals of that man. I couldn't post that on this channel because it's really, really painful to witness. People are dying. Very, very few incidences are actually reported. Yes, you can talk of murder, sex rape. Thank you very much, Chitafa. Even people who are migrating because of poor migration. That poor migration is as a result of government failing to provide people with passport. I've seen a lot of people laughing at people who does cross-border jumping, and some asking very, very inconsiderate questions, such as why would people migrate without a passport? How much does a passport cost in Zimbabwe? It is the most expensive passport in the region. In a country that is, its economy is on its knees, about 95% of the Zimbabweans are not employed. Zimbabwe is a serious crime scene. On a daily basis, people who are not supposed to lose their lives are dying on a daily basis, and most of the cases are not reported. The murders that are taking place in Zimbabwe borders, Zimbabweans attempting to run away from the country, some eaten by crocodiles, some being raped. If you listen to, I think one of the days when we really procure the infrastructure, we will carry out a documentary of the atrocities that are taking place in Zimbabwean borders. Migration is something which is there are a lot of issues that are being underreported and not put on the spotlight that are happening in Zimbabwe. If you hear of people who are open chronicling how they actually migrated to neighboring countries, the gruesome experiences that they some to cross they to actually give sexual favors to people who were transporting them or to people who assisted them to actually, some were raped while attempting to cross the borders of Zimbabwe. Some got HIV, through attempting to cross the border. So there is a lot that is happening which is underreported in Zimbabwe because also of the existing media laws that prohibit the media from actually exhibiting the extent of actually government brutality that is done to its people. A lot is happening. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we go live, guess what? You become the very first one to watch us. What a story to begin with. It's actually very, very painful to report such issues.